Hi guys, it's good to have you again. We're going to continue with our series, and today we'll build the banner section. Remember, the banner section, that's what we use, that's where we display information about the company, about the latest offers. It's just like a signpost, a signage, a place where people can really get updates. Maybe we are advertising a new product, we have a new product that we're advertising, or there's an offer or hot deals. So you use that banner. It's just like a signboard, a signage for that. It's the first point of contact. It's usually the first point of contact for customers. So that's what we're going to build now, and then we will build a sliding banner, and let's just get started without wasting time. So this was where we so this was when we stopped, and to build that, this is where we start using the sweeper library that we talked about. Since we are going to be building we are going to be using the sliding effect, so we use the sweeper. We use sweeper JS to achieve that. So you need sweeper CSS code, and you also need the JS code for sweeper from the sweeper library. So this is the CDN. This is a CDN. I'm using a CDN, and then you need internet connection for the CDN to work appropriately. So that's what we'll be using to build this next project. You will see how everything works. I'm going to explain everything carefully and in a simplified form. So let's get started. The first thing we'll do, and don't forget, I won't be writing all the HTML like I've explained. Just see everything in that family tree format, parent-child relationship. That's just everything. That's just the background knowledge. That's just the secret of what HTML is just talking about. It's just about this relationship, parent-child relationship. That's what we keep repeating. So there's no point repeating it. So I'll just be dropping the codes. I'll copy and paste the code and then explain it. Everybody, we're going to be fine. We're going to get everything. So there shouldn't be an issue over that. So quickly, I'm going to create a division, and I'm going to give it a class of all content. Class all content. So a class all content. The reason why I created this division is I want to make all my content now. I want to keep my content from this point to a certain part of our development inside this body. I want to give it a different background color, a different background style. So that's why I had to create a container to hold all the items, all the elements that I want to give a different background. So that's why I'm using that's the major reason why I'm using all content, this division. So I'll just copy and paste the code here, and then we'll just be good. Believe me, we'll be good with it. I'll just explain. So this is the code that we're going to be working with right now. See, I gave it a main tag it's just like the way we use fragment in React. So just to keep things, and then we have the first bootstrap class that we give to it, row and container fluid, margin X auto. Now let me quickly explain what this thing means. MX margin X means margin X. So that X is just like for X axis. So X axis we talk about left and right. That's just what it is. So it's saying margin left and right should be auto. Then if you see my is y axis, that is top and bottom. So please try to understand that. If you see PB padding bottom, I will be explaining all that to you. Then you see PY, that is padding top and bottom, that is a y axis, and PX padding left and right, x axis. Please get that. So they are bootstrap functions, they are bootstrap methods that we use for styling. So here we're using MX, that is margin left and right. It should be auto. Then we give it a class of grid container. So, and after that we created another grid item. So another class, and here this is where the whole work gets started. The header tag. So it has an ID of banner. That's where everything starts from. The banner, the sweeper, and then the sliding work and displaying the images that we want to slide. It starts from here, henceforth. So you can see here now all these codes, the ones that you see that has this sweeper are from what? Are from sweeper library. So we just need to copy this code from sweeper library, believe me, so that it can also their styling can also be applicable to it. So they have done all these things. That's why we are calling the CSS. I showed you the CSS earlier on. So we have to use them. We cannot change all these ones now. Like the sweeper now, we have to leave this there. It's from it's from their word library. So I just copied this snippet, this code, majorly from their library, and then I edit where necessary to fit into my own project. Like for this my sweeper now, I added it as another class because I'll be using it. So, and this wrapper too now, I added this because I'm using it for the sweeper wrapper came from what sweeper library, because there are some stylings that have been given to this sweeper wrapper, and in their JS library too, they called all these names. So you don't change them. This sweeper wrapper, don't change it, and then this sweeper, don't change it. Sweeper slide, don't change it too. All these things are has been hard coded from their library. So if you change them, your output will not get a desired output, because it will not be able to link up to their library, their CDN, and then their CSS and their jQuery CDNs. So please don't change them. If you need to use, you can just like the way I did my own. I gave it a space and added another class. I added another class here so that I can use it personally for myself. So that's the thing. So the first thing we'll do now is remember also everything we are doing, we are going to be calling it from the backend. So this is a full stack e-commerce. So the next thing we will do now is we will create what a banner. We will also create what a banner table inside our in our database. We'll create a banner table because most of these things will be coming from what, from the banner. We will be calling them from what, from the banner section, from our banner table, from the backend. So we'll be displaying the banner. Let's say the reason why we do it is so that you can easily change any offer. You can also edit the banner. Anyone you don't want to use, you can switch it off or change it. If you have a new advert or you have a new placement, you can easily change it from what, from the admin side. So that's why everything is coming from the backend, so that the admin can edit and change and make changes to it as you deem fit. So we're now giving it what, this is where the slide begins. So we have what is sweeper slide, and inside the sweeper slide we'll drop what, an image inside it, an image tag. So this is where we will add what, the image we want to display. We want to display on our banner section, and so on like that. So without wasting time, let's first of all create what, the banner table in our database. So let's go to our database. Always make sure that your XAMPP server is on. If not, it won't work. You see, I've started it and it's running already. So always make sure it's running. Don't forget. If not, it won't run. So we'll create a new table. Let's create a new table and let's call it. Okay, now I want us to use the SQL method so that we can move faster. We really need to move faster because there are a lot of things for us to do. We really need to move faster. So I have the SQL code already, so that's what I'm dumping here. Don't worry, I'll give you access to all this code. You have them so that you don't have to waste time on it. You see, just do this way, it's faster than compared to the manual method. So you just dump it here, create a table banner, and then we are giving it the criteria as the columns for each row, the columns, and then you just say what, you just hit go, and it has created the table. You can see we have what, the banner, we have the banner table here, and it has what, the column, banner ID, banner name, banner description, banner image, banner status, and slide on. No, we are going to be using all these columns, and I'll be explaining what everything does very shortly. So the next thing is, let's insert some information into some record into this banner section as well. So to do that, we'll go back to our SQL. The first one we did was to create. Now we are going to use insert. So I already have all the codes. So we are going to use insert. And for this build, I'm going to be using just 3 banners. You can have as many as possible banners. It depends on you. It depends on your preference and what you prefer. So, but for this build, since it's for tutorial purpose, I'm going to be using those 3 banners. And you can see it's saying insert into banner, and it's giving us the criteria. And you can see them. We have them here, and then the values to insert into it. These are the values we will insert into what, the banner for each row. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So just press what, go, and it has inserted it. Then I forgot to do something. I'm supposed to make it auto incremental. So I'm supposed to make the banner ID auto incremental. You can see that's why it's not displaying well. So we'll just go to structure. When you go to structure, select banner ID and then press what, primary key here. That's all you need to do. And if you go back now, you see everything is, you see it's different from the initial display we had. So that's the thing. So let's now go back to our code now and link these things up. So to link them up, we are going to be using the PHP procedural method here. So like I said, we'll be using it interchangeably so that you can have either knowledge of each of the methods, so that you can learn how to use procedural and you can also learn how to use what, PDO. So you are learning 2 methods using in one project. So that's why I'm using them interchangeably so that you can learn both. So what we'll quickly do now is, so we'll come here, let's call, so we'll come here, come here. So we'll come here and write our PHP code here. Remember to write a PHP code, you need to use a PHP snippet. So we will now say, let's say F. Let's bring it down to. So we declare a variable and then we add what, in MySQLI. So we are going to add everything up together in MySQLI fetch array, then add MySQLI query. All these are PHP custom functions. And we call, we use $con for our procedural connection. I will say select all from banner. So select all from banner where this status equal to active on slide node equal to slide num equal to 1. So we're supposed to have this here, slide num equal to 1. So that's all about this. So I'll quickly explain what I'm saying here. Now we combine two functions here. It's permitted when you're writing a PHP code. Now we're combining my MySQL fetch array with the MySQLi query so that we can write less code and it makes things faster. MySQL fetch array, for like we've explained, it's used to fetch array of items, and the MySQLi query is just like sending a function, sending a request in PHP so that you can get what a response. Don't forget that concept. Majorly, computer programming is all about sending request and response. So there must be, for everything you send, there must be a response. Either it is an error or a success or response, but you will receive what? A response. So there's that promise. So we are saying you should go to the database called what? Banner. You will find on our database. That's why we're using this connection, and inside this connection there's already a criteria called what? Fashion. So it knows that, okay, for this connection I will go and look for what? A database name called what? Fashion. And inside that database name called fashion, there's a table called what? Banner. And inside that banner, let me just go there. And inside that banner, it says what? It says you should go to this banner table. And inside that banner, if you find the banner table, look for the rows where you have, look for the code rows where you have their B status. So for this role now, for this role 1, we go and look for their B status, where we have the B status as what? The B status is equal to what? Active. The B status is equal to active, and what? The slide num. And it said the slide num must also be equal to what? 1. So you can see all these rows has what? Their B status what? Active. But not all of them has their slide num as what? 1. So you look at it now. So it's saying you should fetch all the records, all the information inside that row that has what? The B status as active and the slide num as 1. And the only one that meets the criteria is this one. So this one has the B status as what? Active, and what? The slide num is equal to what? 1. So it will fetch the records inside this row. So it will fetch all the records. So if you are saying fetch all, like the asterisk, like remember I said the asterisk is used to fetch all. So if you are saying fetch all, now it will fetch the slide num, the B status, the image, the B image, the B description, the B name, and the B ID. So that's what's happening. So that's what it means to fetch all. It will fetch all the records inside that row, because this is the row that meets the criteria. So we said it should fetch the record, and if once it fetches the record, it will save it inside what? A variable called what? FT. That's all. That, I hope, is simple enough. So it will save it under what? The variable called FT. Then from there now we can call these images and display it in our index page. So we'll now come here now to our image. We'll come to our image tag. Where's the image tag? We have the image tag here, and then we'll call it. We say okay. We'll now have a source from product images, and then we add our PHP. We'll ask it to what? Echo. You see, we are calling the FT now, and we are calling the array. So we are calling the array B image. So we are calling B image, and then that's all. So what we are now saying is that, okay, if this criteria exists, if this criteria we gave it is true, fetch that all the records in that row. And now when we fetch after fetching the record in the row, we can do what we call destructuring. Destructuring simply means, that record now, that row, to destructure now is when you split something apart, you break something into pieces so that you can choose the one you need. So that's what we are actually doing here. This is simply destructuring. So you can see we have splitted everything, and then we chose what? The B image. So that's what we needed here. So it just occurred to me now that some of the image file that I called here are not in my product.image. They're not in my product images folder. So we'll quickly get some of the. Let's get some that we use. So we use this now in place of the. So let's use this one. Copy. This is the JPG. So let's use this one here, and then. So I'm just going to change the image, the image files we have here, so that we can use the ones that we have inside our product images. So I've changed the image files. So let's try to reload our page now. So these ones are in our product images. So if everything's working fine, so you can see we have the first image now. It's appearing. That's the first image. So quickly let's do for the second and the third image. Like I said, I'm only going to be using 3 slides here. So you can use as many slides as possible. This is just for a tutorial purpose. So just this slide to show you how it's done. You can do your own thing your own way, and how many slides you want. So all we just need to do from here now is we just duplicate this. We don't need to duplicate this. So we'll copy this and duplicate it. So let's duplicate this. So we duplicate this, and then we duplicate these two. Let's copy this and bring it here. So we simply tell it to, so you can use, let's say ft1, okay, ft2, and then so we just go to banner where active, where this status is equal to active and slide down is equal to 2 here. That's what we change, and then we come here and make it what, ft2. And if you go to our data base, you see where the slide down is equal to 2, so it's going to target this, and then we'll do for 3 2, it will target this. So let's do for the third one, the third slide. So we just copy this as well. Just copy this and then drop it here. So that's all. And then let's call this f3. Let's call it ft3, and then make this what, equal to 3. Make this equal to 3. That's all. So everything is working out the way we want. We got all now. So let's refresh our. You see we have three images showing. So we're going to style this now, make it look beautiful. Then we do the slider part. We use the, so let's go to our CSS and style all this and make it look beautiful. So the first thing we are going to target now is the banner. Let's go target the banner. That's an ID. So we'll go to our index.css and target the banner. So under the banner there's an ID. Remember we use the hash for ID, hash symbol. So under banner we give it the margin. Let's give it the margin top of 60 pixels. Let's give it margin left. Let's give it margin left of 0. Margin right is 0. 0. Let's give it margin 0. That's what we need to do here. Then the next one is we are going to target the grid item. Where is it? We have, yes, let's target the grid item. The grid container rather. So we can have the grid container. Like, okay, let me put it here. And then let's have, it's a class. I think it's a class, yes. And then we have the grid container. We have the width, make it a width of 100%. Width of 100%. Margin top of 4.7 rem. Yes, margin top 4.7 rem. So margin, and then we have margin bottom of 10 rem. Let's give it 10 rem. Then we're going to target, let's target all the divs. So we can write it this way as well. We target all the divs inside the grid container. So we're talking about all the, this is the grid container, so we're talking about all these divs, we target everything inside the what, the div, inside the grid container. So we target it, and then when we find, we give it, we apply this following styling to it. We give it text align center. Then font size will be 20 pixels. And then we have color should be black. Then the next thing we'll do is, okay, the next thing now is the image. Let's target the image and decide and give it a, make it look beautiful. So it's a class, and then we are going to give it the height. Let's give it height of 70 view height, and then width of, let's give it width of 100%. Width of 100%. Margin top of 2.9 rem. So let's give it margin top of 2.9 rem. So this one, okay, yes, we need to target our wrapper too, because we're using the wrapper. So let's target the wrapper and style it. So let it appear here. So we have our wrapper. So we have wrapper, and then we'll give it a width of 100%. And object fit it should cover 100%. So that's all about this. So quickly let's go and write our, let's go and write our JS, our sweeper. Let's write our sweeper code so that to make it, to automate things and to make it slide. So remember one thing that is very important. The sweeper, I'm using the CDN, and without an internet connection it won't work. So you might need to connect to what? To an internet for it to work. So quickly let's add the sweeper code inside our index.php. So we'll go to the come here, and then we will add the code here. So remember, when you're writing a JavaScript, JS, you must call what the script. You must always use the script tag. So we are going to declare a variable. All these two you can get it from, or you can get it from Sweeper library. It's already there, so that you will not waste time. You can just copy and drop it there. So I will write so that you can follow along and understand what's going on. So we declare a variable sweeper, and then we are calling the sweeper. This sweeper now is from their library. It's from Sweeper library, and then we are calling my sweeper. So we're calling my sweeper, then we put a comma. So this is what this is saying. It's saying this variable sweeper, now we are creating a new sweeper. This sweeper is from their library, and then it will target what? My sweeper, a class called my sweeper here. And if I take you back, you will see we have a class called my sweeper. You can see it here. So that's what we are target. That's what it will target. So that's what this code is talking about. So it's not saying once you find that, you will not give it some instruction. We'll give it like, first one will be space between, and space between will be 30. Space between will be 30. Then center. This is centered slide true. So to center it, then we automate it. So autoplay. So we write the code for autoplay, and then we say delay will be 5,000. Put your comma, then disable on interaction, disable interaction, make it false. If you like, you can make it true. So let me quickly explain all this. So there will be space between them like 30, and then centered slide should be true. Autoplay, so it should delay each slide for what? 5,000 seconds. And that is a 5 seconds. If you see 5,000 in computer programming, that's what 5 seconds. So it will change. The slide will change in 5 seconds. Disable on interaction, simply saying if somebody click or hover over any of the slide, do you want the slide automation to stop? So if you say true, that means when somebody click or hover on that on any of the banner, it will stop. It will remain there. It will not slide. It will not go to the next one. It will just remain there. So I made it false. If you like, you can choose true. So everything, it keeps sliding. You can make it false. So that's what it's saying, and that's all we need to do. That's all we need to do for this section. So you can see this is looking beautiful. See everything is sliding. It's sliding after 5 seconds. See, this is beautiful, isn't it? See, this is beautiful. So with that, so we're making good progress. So, and our styling, everything is okay. You can see the result it produced. So I think we should just leave it here. We've done the banner section. The next one we're going to do will be the product section. Thank you.